What's up, all you mentees? This is the Uncanny Omar, and today, join me as I give you my top 10 must-buys, recommended buys, essential buys for the month of March of 2021. Let's do it. Welcome back, everybody. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. We put out videos every day, and doing those things helps our channel keep growing. Now, I do this every month because you all have been wanting me to do this, and I love talking about the books that I think are very important, and the sirens are going off, so if you hear that, it's not a bomb that's about to drop on us, it's just they're testing the sirens, and I have to do this video because I have to go and get some groceries, because that's my life now. But anyway, don't let the sirens distract you. Back to what I was saying. I do this every month, and sometimes books get pushed back. For example, some of the books that I recommended in January or even in February got pushed back until March, like Dr. Aphra. So I'm not going to be recommending Dr. Aphra. Just go back and watch that episode. And I knew that one of the books here was going to be pushed back until March, so I didn't recommend it last month. So when people were like, "Hey, Omar, why didn't you recommend that? That's so out of character for you." Well, because I sort of knew. Or I thought it was going to be delayed. But let's go ahead and get started. So these are just my top 10. Again, let me know what your top 10, if you were limited to 10, because that's what I do. I limit myself. Otherwise, I'm going to recommend like 80 books. But let's see. X-Men by Chris Claremont and Jim Lee, Omnibus Volume 2. Of course I'm recommending this book. This is the one that people were like, "Why didn't you recommend it last month?" I thought it was going to be delayed, honestly, just because all the other books had been delayed. Not just from Marvel, but from DC, from IDW, from Image. But this is one that I'm definitely recommending. If you want to know how the cartoon originally got some of the ideas or character designs, this is where it happens. This is the beginning of the Jim Lee adjectiveless X-Men era. Now, most people watching my channel or have known me for years probably think that I'm recommending this because it does have those, what is this, the first 11 issues of X-Men, adjectiveless X-Men by Jim Lee. It's got Chris Claremont's final issues. But the main reason I'm recommending this is because it's got one of my favorite X-Men stories in there. And that is found in the pages of X Factor. And it's X Factor Endgame. It's issue 65 through 68 of that phenomenal freaking series. It's written by Chris Claremont, plotted by Jim Lee and Whilce Portacio. It is the final fight between X Factor and Apocalypse on the moon. The Inhumans are there. It's got beautiful artwork. If you've not read it, you know what? The entire damn omnibus is worth it just for those 4 issues alone. I'm crazy, I know. You can get the single issues a lot cheaper, but I'm serious. They say the eyes are a window to the soul, and anybody that has read that knows exactly what I'm talking about. Damn, I don't get goosebumps easy in books, but that one right there every single time. Superman Last Son Deluxe Edition. Now, this one's on here because for the first time we're getting a Jeff Johns Superman story in deluxe format. This has been previously released in trade paperback and standard edition, but this is not just Jeff Johns, but also Richard Donner. Richard freaking Donner, the guy that did Superman 1 and 2, Lethal Weapon, other movies, but it's both of them working together to tell the story of Superman and his newfound family after Infinite Crisis. Now, it does collect issues 844 to 846, 851, 855 through 857, and annuals 10 and 11. I think annual 10 is the one that wraps up the Last Son story arc. So it doesn't have the Bizarro story, which was written by Johns with artwork by Eric Powell in here. That might be collected somewhere else, nor does it collect the crossover issues with Kurt Busiek's what is that? Kurt Busiek Superman book. But definitely recommending it. Hopefully we will get a lot more. Like I love the Legion storyline, but the issue in here with Brainiac, that, oh man, that issue breaks my heart. And if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky, Volume 1, Heaven Through Hell. I will stand on a hill and just talk about how wonderful this book is and how it needed to be in oversized format. Not just because of the wonderful storytelling, but also because of the Chichetto artwork that needs to be in oversized format, which would make Punisher by Greg Rucka so much better if it was collected in an omnibus. But if you've not read it, This is a different take on Daredevil. Not like it's mind-blowing, like nothing has ever done before, but it's just a fresh take on a character that has been around for a while, and ZDARSKY acknowledges that within those pages. So, absolutely. Batgirl Returns, Omnibus. Of course this is on the list. I hated the idea of Barbara Gordon being able to walk again. To me, one of the greatest characters in comic books was Oracle. So when rumors were coming out that Barbara Gordon was going to come back as Batgirl, getting rid of Stephanie Brown, getting rid of my favorite Batgirl, Cassandra Cain, I was pretty livid. I was like, no, hell no. Why would you do that? Oracle is one of the greatest comic book characters ever. We don't get rid of a character like that just to bring her back as Batgirl. And you know what? If anybody could do it, it was Gail Simone. And when Gail Simone wrote that story, I was like, okay, I'm in. This is too good. It's a fun story and it makes sense, so I was okay with it. Storm Fairy by Osamu Tezuka, the god of manga, one of my favorite manga creators, and it was a book that was exclusively sold through Kickstarter, and you can look on eBay for sold prices from last year as far as how much this book went for. And now it's being available for everybody. This went over Crime and Punishment because this is an anthology. There's a little fairy story in there. There's a story about almost like a Scooby-Doo story about a sister, her brother, and a little dog that solved crimes. And there's one more story in there, but if you want a taste of what Osamu Tezuka was like, what type of stories he was capable of telling, I think Storm Fairy is a good example of that for sure. This one's in it for me just because I love this story, but Walter Simonson's Ragnarok. What if Walter Simonson had kept writing Thor without any limitations? That's what you would get. You'd get this badass Ragnarok. So Volume 3 hardcover coming out. Man, yes, of course, I'm recommending that. X-Men Inferno Omnibus. Of course, it's X-Men. And I don't recommend every X-Men book, but Inferno is one of those books that was out of print for a long time, over a decade. And it took a lot, a lot of votes, and we voted for this to come back, and they also added the companion. Now, I saw some people were asking me what the story was about or why bother with a story like this. Now, I don't have to tell people that I've read it are getting every X-Men book. You guys are already buying it. I don't have to tell the people that get every X-Men event in oversized format. You guys are buying it. It's the people that don't get every X-Men book that were asking me why this book is so good, or why some people have reviewed it and said it was childish. I don't get that, because I mean, mailboxes come to life. Yeah, so the entire city of New York is being possessed by demons, right? And there are people being eaten alive in the elevator. There are babies that are going to be sacrificed so demons can walk the earth. That's some dark crap. Like, I mean, I don't know what's kiddie about that. If anything, it maybe like some Ghostbusters cartoon season 1, those dark stories. That's the kind of feeling I got out of this. So, for me, there's one moment in here that makes up the whole book. And it is the opening shot to Uncanny X-Men 242. For those that have read it, it's the kiss. That moment alone, and I'll be doing an overview of it, and I'm sure I'll talk about it. But that moment alone, I mean, Claremont building up for years to moments that happen in this book. Absolutely, yeah. Swamp Thing, the New 52 Omnibus. So this is Scott Snyder, then Charles Soule. Now, Scott Snyder's run got collected in oversized format, but Charles Soule only got trade paperbacks. And this collects issues 0 through 40, 23.1, which is the Villains issue, the first 3 annuals, Future's End, and then the crossover with Animal Man, 12 and 17, and then Aquaman 31. So Jeff Lemire's Animal Man, and then yes, you got artwork in here by Yannick Paquette, Jesus Zais, and other artists. I really enjoyed Scott Snyder's run, but I thought Charles Soule's run was even better. So I'm glad that this is finally getting an omnibus. They are really pushing these New 52 omnis, like, really hard. I get it, but I mean, there are other collections out there. Anyway, where was I? Skyward, of course. If you've been watching my channel for a while, the amazing Amanda and I reviewed it, a couple of years ago, Volume 1. It's one of my hidden gems. And this is the complete story about what if the world just lost its gravity and people started floating up. What happened here? And it's up to one little girl and her secrets to figure out and how to restore the world back to normal. Beautiful artwork. I heard it got picked up for a TV show. I don't know about that. But hell yes. Hell yes, I'm in. Now, this next book, Usagi Yojimbo Saga. This is the limited edition hardcover. This is the only one that's being printed. They're not going to reprint volumes 2 that I know of. I've talked to my contacts at Dark Horse. They might change their mind later on. So, the story really quick is that the first limited edition hardcover, it's a beautiful book, it was limited to 700. The rest of the volumes 2 through, 8, were limited to 1,500. Meaning there were... Or was it? Yeah, I think it was limited to 1,200. Sorry. Meaning that there were a group of people that couldn't get it because it was limited to 1,200. The first one was limited to 700. Not everybody could get it. Now they're making enough so that everybody that bought the other ones, volumes 2 through 8, limited editions, can go back and get this one. So I'm recommending it, of course, to all those people that missed out on it. It is coming out on the 23rd, or 23rd, 24th, depending on where you get your books. But my suggestion is just to pre-order it. My suggestion is always to pre-order books in case you're worried about missing out. But, absolutely, I'm recommending it. I love Usagi Yojimbo. It's one of my favorite stories of all time. If you saw my list many years ago, I need to update that list of my top 20 recommended non-superhero stories. Usagi Yojimbo's on there. Yeah. So, anyway, but that's my list. And when these books come out, don't forget to check out our sponsor, CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online source for collected editions up to 50% off retail price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on excellent packaging, so your stuff gets to you in excellent condition, and they have amazing customer service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And for all you Minties that are watching, if you're a first-time customer, don't forget to mention that Near Mint Condition sent you their way for a promotional credit on free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. CheapGraphicNovels.com, your source for the hottest books with deep discounts, customer service, and excellent shipping that will keep you coming back for more. Now that you've seen my list, I would love to know what your list is. Leave those comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And we are on Patreon, Redbubble, amazing ways to support the channel. And we've just reignited our Patreon, making it better with different tiers and stuff. So that link is in the description of the video if you want to check that out. Thank you to our existing patrons, and the end credits here that you're going to be seeing are all one of the tiers of the Patreons that we have. Redbubble, we're thinking about going through another shop because we've got ideas for t-shirts that you'll be seeing on the here in videos later on. So keep an eye out on the channel. Join our live Q&A every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. More importantly, all of you, stay healthy, stay safe. Much love.